Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to talk about a very brand new project. In my opinion, has a very high potential to go at least 10 to 15x in the short term, but also has a potential to even go like to 25 or 30x as well. But in the long run, I think this project is going to do really well because it is cross-chain compatible. And this project is called O3 Swap, right? Or the token is called O3. So as always guys, if you guys want to do your own research, I highly recommend you to do so by accessing all the websites of the pages that we are talking about or the projects that we're talking about. And for this project, I recommend you guys to go to their website o3swap.com to learn more about this project, right? So what is O3 Swap? So O3 Swap is basically a cross-chain aggregation protocol, and basically what they're saying is access multi-chain liquidity sources on one platform, right? So again, it's one of those other typical kind of like swap-based projects where you can access liquidity not only from one particular liquidity source, but you can access it from multiple different sources on different chains, right? And you can do that all in one platform. So they have this cool graphic here that kind of shows how I think the different layers are supposed to represent different chains that are basically connected in one single platform. So it's a cool animation there. So you can basically access liquidity for your swaps from any of these following decentralized exchanges, right? Again, I like it how they're clearly like defining Ethereum based decentralized exchanges versus Binance Smart Chain, Neo, as well as Huobi Eco Chain, right? So if you see, they're basically providing or allowing liquidity from Uniswap, SushiSwap, Curve Finance, Balancer, Bancor, 1inch, Paraswap, and 0x protocol from the Ethereum blockchain. And from Binance Smart Chain, obviously PancakeSwap, Dodo, MDEX, Bakery Swap, Ape Swap, BSC Swap, as well as Joule Swap. And if you see from Neo, you can clearly see that they have liquidity aggregation from Flamingo, Nash, and Switcheo, whereas from Huobi Eco Chain, they're basically accessing liquidity from MDEX, LavaSwap, Depth, and ChocoSwap. So again, some really versatile liquidity sources that they're tapping to, and this will basically ensure that swaps happen not only with very exotic assets from different blockchains, but also swaps happen with very low slippage because they have pretty much covered all the popular decentralized exchanges from several different blockchains, right? Find the best prices across multiple chains. So again, you can basically, by using O3 Swap, you are basically guaranteed to kind of get the best price, and that's something that they're advertising on the website. Aggregate liquidity sources across leading dexes. So again, you can basically aggregate liquidity from different decentralized exchanges that we saw before. Discover the most efficient trading routes. So again, if you guys have used Matcha, which is a popular like liquidity aggregator, you basically get the best trading route from Matcha, right? Similar to that, O3 Swap also offers some of the best routes by which you can get the best out of your swaps. So that's very interesting. Trade safely with no limits and hidden fees. So again, obviously safety is a very big concern, and they are addressing it peripherally that their trading would be a safe mechanism, and there's basically no limits and hidden fees when it comes to trading and swapping, right? So that's very interesting. So again, another cool animation here that shows how the liquidity is kind of aggregated from different blockchains. Trade across chains with one click. Freely exchange multi-chain assets, access different blockchain networks, bridge to layer 2 networks, right? So again, some of the key features that they have to offer are easy accessibility, and that's what they basically mean by trade across chains with one click. It's not necessarily one click, but it's actually a very easily usable user interface, which provides a comfortable experience for the users. Freely exchange multi-chain assets, again something which is self-explanatory. Access different blockchain networks, again it kind of ties in with the first point. bridge to layer 2 networks. Again, this is also very interesting, right? This is basically something that's becoming more and more popular now with all the layer 2 networks kind of like trying to support Ethereum and kind of taking the load out of Ethereum's shoulders. And that's very important because one of the most popular layer 2 solution is Polygon, and it's rapidly growing, and it seems like a liquidity will reach a point where it will be somewhat siloed within Polygon Polygon chain, and once optimism comes rolling out, it will be initially very tough to kind of like bridge the liquidity from Polygon or other platforms to optimism, right, on the Ethereum blockchain. So but in O3 swap you kind of mitigate that issue by directly bridging to the layer 2 networks itself, right? So that's very interesting. So here are some of the most important roadmap updates for O3 swap. Again, a really cool kind of like way by which they presented their roadmap. So the first thing in Q1 of 2021, which is already over, is launch the official website, which is already available, release the new swap module, again, which is also available, publish O3 swap light paper. Again, we can also find that on the website as well, right? And I also recommend you guys to read through their light paper. It's a very interesting read. So Q2 to Q3 of 2021, which is what we are currently at right now, they're basically planning to release O3 hub, providing cross-chain service. Again, it's not, the cross-chain service is not yet live, but it will be sometime between Q2 and Q3 of this year. Support ETH BSC swaps. Again, they are going to be fully functional, although you can still access like a rudimentary version or the beta version of their O3 swap on both of these chains. You can only do it with, I believe, $20 as a maximum swap limit, just to mitigate risk, right? So once that's fully live, you will be able to access liquidity from Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. O3 version 1 online, which is something that they are also planning to release in this quarter, right? Q4 of 2021, they're planning to launch DAO version 1, which is going to be very interesting. Deploy aggregation protocol on layer 2 networks. Again, this is something that would be very relevant, especially after optimism rolls up, where they want to basically deploy aggregation of liquidity on the layer 2 networks, right? Complete O3 hub development across layer 2 networks. Again, they basically want the network to be fully functional with layer 2 systems by the end of Q4, right? And in 2022, as of now, these are all the updates that they have that they're planning to make on the roadmap. Basically release version 2, which will be very interesting. Depending on the success of version 1, the version 2 launch may be even more, from the price appreciation perspective, I think it will be much more valuable, right? Support instant quote and pending order, which is going to be a very interesting feature. Launch cross-chain 2.0 and release O3 network. So again, very exciting roadmap indeed, and again, a very early stage project which has a high potential to grow depending on how much it performs in its version 1, right? So here are some of the important updates from their website, and you can also find some popular YouTubers making videos. Again, this is box mining, and you can also find other YouTubers from I believe it's Chinese YouTubers making videos as well. It will be interesting to check them out, so please have a look. So O3 Wallet, a multi-chain crypto wallet, manage your assets simply and safely. So again, they have their own wallet which you can download, and this is called the O3 wallet, and it's a multi-chain crypto wallet where, similar to SafePal or Trust Wallet, it's a multi-chain wallet which can basically be used to manage assets and do DeFi related transactions, right? So here's a quick like a screenshot of how the swap function would be on their wallet, and also there are some really interesting partners and investors with the O3 swap. Some of them are Binance Smart Chain, Huobi EcoChain, Top ICO, Neo, Poly Network, Crypto Differ, and DeFi Pulse. And if you see some of the these are basically the partners, right? If you see some of the investors are NGC Ventures, OKX Blockstream Ventures, 7X Ventures, and a bunch of Chinese investors or kind of Asian investors, Neo, Moonwhale, Puzzle Ventures, Incuba Alpha, and 12 Capital, right? So again, very interesting investor list indeed, and that's pretty much it. So again, It's a very not a very groundbreaking project that can bring some kind of like a new innovation to the crypto space. It is kind of like a decentralized exchange, but one of the most unique characteristics is basically trying to aggregate liquidity from several different blockchains and making the transaction very efficient and very effective, right? So if you click the swap button on the top right corner, you can kind of see their beta version of their swap and how it will look like. It's pretty much similar to Uniswap, nothing really special. You can access basically with Ethereum as well as Binance Smart Chain, and you can also access some of the other information. The dashboard is currently not live, but you can read through their blogs, governance, and documents, and so on and so forth, right? So very mellow project indeed. So if you go back to the CoinGecko page for O3 swap, the token is currently unranked. Again, this is a very new project. It only got listed on CoinGecko pretty recently, so there's no real ranking allocation. But the token price is around $5.75 at the time I'm making this video, and recently had a mild increase of 3.5% in the past 24 hours, despite the crypto market overall going in the downtrend, right? Again, this is because of the fact that this token itself is very new, and there's initially there's sort of this irrational exuberance that pushes the token price up immediately after it's launched, but it kind of dumps back down, and that's still not happened yet, right? The market cap information is still not yet available, but if you take the maximum supply, it's a very kind of scarce token that kind of justifies the price per token for the token. And if you see, the max supply is only 30.3 million tokens, which is extremely low. There are tokens that are in the hundreds of millions or even billions of tokens. When it comes to those kind of comparisons, you can see that 30.3 million is way lower. Although it is kind of like a higher max supply compared to Bitcoin's max supply, the scarce kind of like action will help this token kind of appreciate in price, right? The circulating supply is not really well known at the time of making this video, but I do believe that it should be probably less than 10% or something like that. And again, you can kind of expect a short-term price dumping or price slumping because of the new tokens potentially being dumped into the market. But I do believe that there's a huge potential for this token to kind of like make multiple X's by the end of this bull run, right? So if you go to the charts, you can clearly see that the token information is still relatively very early. The token price chart is only available since 13th of May on CoinGecko, and it was trading at $7.30 at the time, and then it had a pump and reached $10 mark, close to $10 mark, 13th of May, and then kind of like started going on a downtrend where it kind of reached an all-time lows. I don't really think you can call it as an all-time low, but if you want to call this as an all-time low, it's probably $4.14, right? And if you see, it's kind of been moving sideways with an overall kind of upward trajectory, and now it's kind of $5.76, right? So again, still a lot of potential for this token. I'm pretty sure the market cap is extremely low. You guys can definitely like investigate it, do your own research, obviously, because this video does not contain financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. But if you feel like this token has some really good potential, not only in the short term but also in the long term, you can kind of look into getting some of these tokens. But at the same time, bear in mind that it's an extremely volatile token because of its early stages, and you should be extremely cautious about it, right? If you look at the Bitcoin comparator, on the other hand, you can clearly see that the token price was worth about 15,000 satoshis, or 14,670 satoshis, close to 15,000 satoshis initially on May 13th, and then it had a big like a decent increase, reaching an all-time highs of about 19,800 satoshis before going back, touching its all-time lows of 8,600 satoshis, and now it's kind of rebounding back slowly but moving sideways, right? Now it's at 13,076 satoshis, right? Again, I wouldn't really call this as an all-time high because again, I believe that this token will go parabolic. It's a relatively new token. It will be noticed by many people, and since it's planning to do like cross-chain aggregation of liquidity, I think this token has an incredibly bright future, right? If you take the Ethereum comparator, on the other hand, you can pretty much like see that the token price is 0.002 Ether on 13th of May and reached an all-time highs of about 0.0025 ether, and then crashing back down to an all-time lows of about 0.001 ether, and now the price point is 0.0017, right? I would probably say it's better to wait a bit to buy this token, not only with the dollar comparative but also with Bitcoin and Ethereum comparative. I do believe that this token can go down. It's still kind of like in the irrational exuberance phase where this token can be extremely volatile, but if you want a good entry point, I suggest you to wait. But if you feel like this is a good token to hold long term, then by all means this price point would still be really good. Again, this token hasn't really set a proper all-time high, so you are still too early in this project, right? If you look at the exchanges, it's available on Huobi Global, which is one of the tier 1 centralized exchanges, available on Uniswap and PancakeSwap, two most popular decentralized exchanges, one on the Ethereum blockchain and one on the Binance Smart Chain. You can also get it from Huobi Korea. Again, people who are from Korea may probably be able to buy this token from Huobi Korea, right? But the best possible way to buy this token would be PancakeSwap. Not only is it decentralized exchange, but also you probably will have very less gas fees, and again, there's no real big withdrawal fees, and you can kind of hold it in your own wallet after you swap that token with your BUSD, and it will be safely within your wallet where you hold the private keys, right? So that's my personal preference, but if you guys want to buy it from Huobi Global or Uniswap, it's up to you, but please bear the high gas fees in mind before purchasing it on Uniswap, right? So what's my final verdict on this token? I believe that this token is still relatively early. It can definitely make some really good innovations. I think this roadmap is pretty strong. The token has potential governance use cases. They also recently made an airdrop for people on the Ethereum blockchain who kind of use their platform before May 13th, I believe. You can obviously read through the information on their Medium page by clicking the link on the CoinGecko page, or by going to their website and accessing their socials directly, right? They also had an airdrop program for people who use the Binance Smart Chain version of their DEX, and I think that's still pending to be announced. But overall, I believe that O3 Swap is a good project that has a high potential to grow. A very strong tokenomics, very low market cap. You're getting into a token that's extremely early, and I believe that as decentralized exchanges start becoming maturing in different blockchains, O3 Swap will have a very decent place in different